News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
University of Montana administration outraged over claims. Good morning, everyone. This is Montana Morning. Congratulations, you made it. It's Friday, January 29th, 2016. Right now, we do have 35 degrees. We've had some overnight rain. Roads are mostly bare and wet. However, we do have black ice reported from Superior up over Lookout Pass on I-90 headed west. Our newscast this morning sponsored by the Mustard Seed Asian Cafe, located in South Cape Mall. This morning's top story, an accusation of possible religious preference described in the Missoula.YouTube newspaper, received a fiery response from UM administrators yesterday. UM Vice President for Integrated Communications Peggy Kaur said President Royce Engstrom was outraged.
The president is deeply outraged that these accusations have been made on campus by colleagues against other colleagues and promoted by groups of people. So he's outraged that really we have gotten to this level of conversation and accusation, and then that these views and a lot of misinformation is being promoted through our local daily newspaper.
Engstrom wrote a letter saying that the story was, quote, irresponsible journalism at best, end quote, and that, quoting again, Missoula deserves better, end quote. He also said the accusation of religious preferences in hiring was, quote, ludicrous and frankly sad, end quote. Engstrom was not alone in challenging the Missoula newspaper's credibility. Montana Deputy Commissioner of Higher Education, Kevin McCrae, described the paper's January 28th edition as, quote, a sad day in Montana journalism, end quote.
They've changed the story online today, but if you look at your morning print version, the Missoulian reported that a couple of years ago, the Church of Latter-day Saints announced plans to buy Utah State University, which is a public state land grant university. Well, my ninth grade daughter this morning at breakfast was able to look on her phone and easily discern that was an internet hoax.
Whether the issue is being driven by the Missoula newspaper or by someone involved in the UM Advocacy Council, or both, is unclear. McCrae said, quote, whoever is pushing the allegation is being a bit elusive, end quote. Montana Governor Steve Bullock, we'll have more on that story later on, by the way. Montana Governor Steve Bullock says the state's economy is strong as the Democrat makes his case for re-election. The economy is expected to play a central role in this year's gubernatorial race. Republican challenger Greg Gianforte has made Montana's low wages his campaign's central theme. During a news conference in the Capitol, Bullock cited the state's 4% unemployment rate as a key indicator of Montana's economy. The state's jobless rate is 1 point below the national rate. 37-year-old James Rogers appeared in Missoula Justice Court yesterday, charged with felony aggravated assault and misdemeanor partner or family member assault for allegedly strangling his girlfriend to the point where she thought she was going to die. Deputy County Attorney Jennifer Clark has details.
It's alleged that he strangled the victim to the point where she was gasping for air, was in fear for her life. The officer saw petechia on the bottom of her lip, which is indicative of a strangling event. As we know, strangling is highly lethal even days or years after the event.
Clark then referenced Rogers' lengthy criminal history.
He does have 2 prior partner family member assault charges out of Ravalli County. One was dismissed on a deferred prosecution. The other was resolved as a disorderly conduct. He also was on probation for a felony theft, which he had a revocation on, and obstructing a peace officer charge.
Judge Karen Orzek set bail at $50,000 and remanded Rogers back to the jail. His next court appearance is February 12th. The Senate voted on their first amendments to the Energy Policy Modernization Act of 2016 yesterday. Montana Senator Steve Daines said the legislation is a crucial step forward in modernizing our nation's energy policy and public lands management for the first time in nearly a decade.
And we're doing it in a strong bipartisan fashion. Moreover, we're taking the necessary steps to ensure our nation's energy future, in turn increasing economic opportunity and protecting our nation's security needs. It permanently reauthorizes the Land and Water Conservation Fund. This bill also streamlines the permitting for the export of liquefied natural gas, allowing more American energy to power the world.
The act was approved by a vote of 18-4. The Montana Public Service Commission will be meeting today in Helena to hear arguments about the unauthorized sale of mountain water to Liberty Utilities. Commission spokesman Eric Sell has more.
The commissioners are going to chat about some comments that we received from the parties to our proceeding regarding the unauthorized sale of Mountain Water and the withdrawal of Liberty Utilities' application to review that sale.
Sells said several agencies have submitted briefs to the commission about the sale.
We received comments from the City of Missoula, Liberty Utilities, Mountain Water, the Montana Consumer Council, and the Clark Fork Coalition to address some jurisdictional questions regarding the PSC's authority to review a transfer of this nature.
Mountain Water President John Kappas said he does not believe the commission has any say over the sale to Liberty Utilities. However, he does say the PSC still has total authority over how the company operates in Missoula.
Making it very clear the Mountain Water Company continues to be regulated by the Public Service Commission, that for all of our rates, all of our service, and we will continue to abide by all of the requirements that the PSC has of Mountain Water Company.
The meeting will take place at 1:30 this afternoon in the Bollinger Room at the Montana PSC headquarters in Helena. Sells said there will be time for some public comment before the meeting. Missoula Mayor John Engen says he does plan to attend. And speaking of Mayor Engen, he expressed his pleasure yesterday that the Montana Supreme Court has chosen to hear the Mountain Water Necessity hearing in Missoula on April 22nd.
We're really enthusiastic about the opportunity for Missoulians to hear our attorneys and defendants' attorneys make their cases. Clearly, we have an opinion about the appeal, but we have been committed from the first day that we began our journey to acquire the water company to follow the process, and this is the next step in the process.
Engen said he has no idea how long the court would take to make their final decision on the necessity of the city to own the water system.
The beauty of being the Supreme Court of the state of Montana is you get to move at your pace, and I trust that they'll do their best. I think they're awfully busy folks, but it'll be what it'll be.
So far, over $5 million has been spent in the effort to obtain the water company, with the approved sale price of over $88 million. ExxonMobil is suing Northwestern Energy, saying power outages at the energy giant's Billings refinery have cost the company millions of dollars. The Billings Gazette reports in the lawsuit Friday in U.S. District Court in Billings, that would be today, Exxon accuses Northwestern of being negligent in preventing the outages. The representatives from Exxon and Northwestern declined to comment further on that lawsuit. Our News Talk time now is 6:12.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Areas of light rain and snow this morning will give way to mostly cloudy skies today. Highs will be right around 40 degrees. We're tracking a cold front that will bring a wintry mix this evening with light accumulations of snowfall. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.